thrilled to host yet another edition of the podcast entitled Life Notes with Dr. Wilkins. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and coach who will host a series of discussions with folks from all walks of life who are navigating life in unique and impressive ways. The theme of this Life Note is entitled Single, Growing, and Thriving. It features Black women who are above the age of 40 and who have curated lives that defy the myth that to be grown and single equates to unhappiness. I am thrilled and grateful for our guest today. She is Zinnia Adams, or Nia, as she gave me permission to call her. Zinnia identifies as an avid traveler, a financial educator, and a mother. And Nia, as I told you a few moments ago, I think you're the first mother that we've had on the podcast. Welcome.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So Zinnia, I gave like a very light glaze on who you are. And so as we spoke about earlier, there are Black women. I'm picturing there's a Black woman who is also over the age of 40 or approaching 40 right now. And maybe she's wondering, who is Zinnia? And what about her makes me identify with her? And so I'm wondering, to that woman, how would you like to introduce yourself? What do you think is most important?
Well, my name is Ania. I think one thing that's important is I recently relocated to the Atlanta area. So, moving by yourself in a new location, I think is something that's pretty big. And for some people, very scary. And a lot of people might have been, considering relocating and been like kind of procrastinating about it. So I think to hear from somebody who just did that. I think that's important to mention. I'm 40. I am a single woman, a mother of a 22-year-old daughter. I am traveler. I stopped counting at 30, but I've been to at least over 30 countries. I travel solo, I travel in groups, I coordinate group trips for me and my friends sometimes. Um, I just love to travel and try new foods and learn about new cultures and economies. I guess that's the nerd in me. Other than that, I love life. I love to have fun, dance, laugh, and enjoy.
Mhm. Wonderful. So when you said that you relocated to Atlanta as a single woman, one, Atlanta seems to be a theme here. Many of my guests have been from through Atlanta.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yes, yes. And so I'm wondering, as a single Black woman, why Atlanta?
Well, I moved to Atlanta, honestly, of my originally just being full transparency, Atlanta wasn't my original option, but in so many words, the universe showed me that this is where I was supposed to be. Because originally I was trying to move to Florida. And for about 4 years, I attempted to move to Florida and nothing panned out. Nothing, nothing. Was just consistently trying. It took less than a month, maybe a week before I got approved and got a start date in Atlanta. And then everything since I have been here has gone kind of smoothly. Previously, I was in Chicago. So one of the main reasons was better weather, of course. Um, Chicago gets very gloomy during the winter, it gets very cold, and I wanted better weather for myself. Um, Job wise, I was transferring. So it didn't really, I guess you could say that the market at the moment wasn't a huge considering factor for me.
Mhm. So the reason why I show my cards a little bit, the reason why I said as a single Black woman, girl, in Atlanta saturated with us?
I didn't come looking like for that. I'm looking for where I'm supposed to be. Like, so when making moves for myself, I'll consider others, but you have to follow where you're supposed to be. And if because of everybody else says this is that, I don't like to make decisions based on that.
I
I
love,
like to be where I'm supposed to be.
yes, I love that. And so let's talk about how you know where you're supposed to be. How do you get, I call it confirmation, but how do you, whatever, the word is, how do you make that decision?
For me, what my confirmations were is the way that things have aligned since I've been here. I am born and raised in Chicago. And so I'm there. I know Chicago. I'm very familiar with it. I know it from the front to the back. I was a mail carrier also. So I'm very familiar with Chicago and each side. But things have moved smoothly for me since I got here, which to me was like, when you're going where you're supposed to be and doing the things that are, walking in your purpose, I feel like a lot of things start to align for you. And to me, I consider that a confirmation, especially if it's something that I've been trying to do and straining to try to get it done. And then now it's just like, oh my God, I can't believe I struggled with this before. Like, what happened? So to me, that was like confirmation for me. And even my friends noticed it and said things.
Mm, mm. I love that because I think too often we don't pay attention to when there's just too many roadblocks.
Exactly.
When, yeah, go ahead.
I did initially. Like I said, for 4 years, I kept trying and kept trying. And it's like, man, where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, and then how did you know, like, what was the difference when Atlanta just linked up for you from that 4-year period? How did you know, okay, this feels,
um, So I came here and I spent like 2 to 3 weeks here just to kind of be here for a little while and kind of get a feel for it and not just be here for a weekend. Because you go visit places for a weekend, I feel like, of course, 2 weeks doesn't give you a window into living there, but it's way better than just only being there for a few weekends. So I came here, spent 2 weeks, and I really kind of went around and just mingled, met people, and acted as if I lived here already. And for me, that process was smooth. It wasn't cumbersome. It didn't feel like a chore or anything like that. And so to me, that was like, okay, let's see. So then I'm like, okay, let's try it. And I asked about transferring, and literally within a week, it was like, yes, this is your start date. You need to be here by this day. And I was like, okay, okay. Like, you plan to do something for so long, and then it's like now it's here and it's quick, and it's like, oh, okay, hold on.
mm, so it's almost like, I imagine, okay, this is moving faster than I thought it was gonna move, but okay, let me pack up my stuff.
Exactly. Like the opportunity is here. Like it would behoove you to take it.
Yes. Okay. Well, I don't think you can go wrong if you are living according to like where you're being called, according to purpose, according to what's resonating. So
Hmm.
dating, your baby is now 22. She's not a baby anymore. You're in ATL. You're traveling to 30 countries. I would love to hear some. So where are you with dating? Yeah.
With dating, I've tried the dating apps. I
Mhm.
did not have a lot of success on the dating apps. I feel like I do better in person. And maybe that might be an old school nature of mine. I'm not sure. But I've tried the dating apps and I run into a lot of like bare communication, if they even communicate, or we talk for a short period of time and then they just fall off and then they pop up 3 months down the line and like, hey, like, and it's like just different things like that happen. And for me, it became exhausting. Like it became very exhausting. And you spend a lot of time, you wake up and you have to respond to 5 to 6 guys or whoever you're messaging at the time. But by the time you finish responding to all of them, look how much time has passed. And then for it to go nowhere. So I was like, okay, this might, like you said, you keep hearing roadblocks. You have to decide this might not be the channel. So I decided that as I'm out and about, I'll meet people and we'll kind of go from there. Interested in dating, but I don't want to date someone just for the sake of being with them. I'm not really interested in that.
I think that age has something to do with that as well.
Mhm.
You're out, you lit up as I said that. Yeah.
Right, because you learn, you live and you learn. It's like that doesn't serve you. And now you're in this relationship that you're trying to convince them they love you. And to me, I'm just not interested in being in that space right now.
Mm-hmm. I think also as you get older, and you can push back on me if you disagree for real. As you get older, there's something to like becoming more and more comfortable in your skin.
Oh, I can agree to that too. Yes,
Uh-huh.
absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Definitely more and
Especially,
more comfortable with me and who I am and my skin and my mind and my body. Absolutely. Still working to improve, always working to become the best me that I can be. But yes, I think that's absolutely the truth.
yeah, of course. And so when you're more comfortable in your skin and you know personally what makes you tick with or without anybody else in this world, your
Mhm.
time becomes more important to
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
you.
And I
Mhm.
want to spend it having fun. Like I feel like dating should be fun. It should be like interesting and fun getting to know people and just seeing who's the right person for you. That's what I would like my dating experience to look like.
Not the WYD.
Exactly. Good morning, beautiful, 15 times in a row with no other conversation to follow. Or even when you try to start the conversation, they completely fall flat. And it's like, okay, well, we tried that.
Yes, yes. It's FYI, I read a story recently, or article saying that now speed dating is making a comeback.
Okay.
So people are starting to say, let's meet in person. This is bland
I
online.
like break. I love meeting in person better. I feel like you can, and even with dating, that's another thing too. Can't form a connection over text message. I can't hear the inflection in your voice. I can't catch your demeanor. It's hard to tell when you're joking or not joking. You don't, it's hard to tell those things until you know someone. So if we're in the process of getting to know each other, I don't know those things. So I prefer, not saying we have to be on the phone all day, like with your feet up to the wall while you dangling the phone cord, like back in the day, but I have to have some type of more personal interaction so I can actually get to know you.
Yes, I love that picture. And I'm also like, I'm aging myself, but bring back the feet up on the wall, court, well, maybe not the court dangling, but you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because you were genuinely having a good time in your phone conversation. You
Yeah.
were having a ball. You were willing to forego whatever you had to do because you were so invested in that conversation, but it was based on really liking that person.
There you go. And
Mhm.
for any men out there that might be watching, this little just played out discussion about women trying to get free meals.
Oh,
Maybe they'd be able to vet women better if they spent some quality time on the phone having good conversation.
before, yeah, that's very true. That's very true. I mean, like me personally, when I go out with me and my friends, we go out to restaurants and we go out and try new foods and try new things. Like for me personally, it's so not about like my time is so much more valuable than just trying to get a free meal. Like I truly value my time than to be sitting across the table with somebody that I have no interest in.
There you go. And then you say you're a financial advisor. I
I'm a
mean,
financial
that
educator. Yes, exactly.
educator, that suggests you got some money to feed yourself. I'm just saying.
Exactly right. I mean, one would think, I've been to 30-something countries. I imagine something is financing that while I'm single, so I'm not trying to get a free meal. I promise. I
So,
swear. Scott's honored.
covered all your meals in all those countries. So so pushing into the countries, where have you been? Name some. And yeah, because 30.
So I feel like I've been a great amount of countries. I've been to London, Paris, Portugal, of course, Belize, Jamaica, Trinidad, Antigua, Barbados, Grenada. Like I go to Carnival in Trinidad every year.
Ooh.
I love the culture and soca. It's happy music. Soca is happy music. It's fun. It's about just letting go, like leave your stress at home, have fun and just be yourself. And so I love that. And I love that culture. So I go to Carnival in Trinidad. Um, so of course I've been to some states here, Puerto Rico. I want to go to Alaska next year. I want Alaska and Antarctica, but I've been looking up Drake's Passage and I've heard it's very rough to cross there and it takes like 2 days each way and it's like really, really rough. Like a
What's the
lot of
name of
people
it?
think Drake's Passage.
I thought
So
you said Drake. So I was like, how he get into this? So I'm not
it's a
familiar.
very rough body of water, but you have to pass it to get to Antarctica if you traveling by like cruise ship. And I heard it's really, really rough, but I want to hit Antarctica because I want to hit all of the continents. So, yeah, so this is a few places that I've been. I feel like I named a lot.
Oh, you are living. You are
I
living.
love, yeah, I love to travel and just explore and see and enjoy. And the people always have such wonderful attitudes. They're always great to meet all these people. You meet so many people from everywhere when
Hmm.
you travel.
So I just had a thought about your Black womanhood as you travel. And
Mm-hmm.
your Black womanhood, how it feels in the US versus perhaps in some other countries. Do you notice any shifts?
I would say it depends on the country.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it depends on the country. Um, some countries, yes, I feel because I'm a black woman, but I'm also a black woman who is not a size two. I'm a black woman who's not very skinny with long hair. You know what I mean? So I'm not the what America, for a while was teaching us was the standard or what you should be. But in a lot of other countries, that's accepted more for me not to be that person. So yes, in some countries I feel even proud here. Like you said, I've gotten older, I've accepted who I am in my skin, I've healed, all of that. So in some countries, though, it's like you feel like you are the queen walking the ground just because they celebrate you more and they are happy that you're there. And you get, like, how you always hear the term white privilege, you get black privilege in some countries. Some countries you come to, they're happy that to see you traveling. They're happy to see you there. They're happy to see people that look like them coming to visit their country and they show it and you can tell and it's not, you know what I mean? So definitely.
Wow. So, okay, the cheat codes. Because I'm not a size two. I know you can only see me from Europe, but I'm not a size two either. What are the cheat codes? What countries have you been to that you're like, I'm their type here?
Of course it's going to be a lot of Caribbean, like Trinidad. You will see them walk past the skinny girl to dance with the heavier woman because they find that woman beautiful and attractive. Like that's just what they like. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So of course it's a lot of Caribbean countries. They celebrate the woman and who she is and all shapes and sizes. You know what I mean?
The
But
Caribbean
that might be the thing. They might love women a little bit too much.
feels like there's some stories in there.
Yeah. Oh, me personally, but just knowing a lot of,
Yeah,
Caribbean culture. That's all.
yeah. Do you date when you travel? Do you feel
But I have not. I don't think have I ever dated. Obviously I've been approached. Like you almost can't go to Jamaica without leaving with three husbands. Um,
Three?
but I have, it's always when you're in Jamaica, it's like they're very they're always flirting with you and
Mm,
that's just, how it is. But have I dated date when I travel. A lot of times for me, I'm very busy when I'm at home. So when I'm at home, I'm busy, I'm going. I like to go out and go to different events and things like that. So travel for me is like solace. You know what I mean? So I like to go to kind of clear my head, clear my mind, relax. So I don't date as much. I have heard of people who date a lot while traveling, and I hear like great stories and it makes me want to, but I haven't dated much while I've traveled. No.
mm,
A lot of times maybe it's like even with pictures, I've gotten to the point now to take pictures, but a lot of times I would come, I'm just in the moment, just enjoying just,
mm,
woosah.
mm. I think that that's a lovely way to talk about thriving because I think that something about being able to be in the moment is
Hmm.
thriving. Do you know what I mean?
I love it. Like I said, I've gotten better now with taking more pictures because you want to have memories and you want to be able to look back on it and things like that. But I like being in the moment. I like enjoying it and laughing and just spending my energy and with trying to have a great time and
Mm,
asking questions and exploring. Like typically when I go to another country, like say if I'm going solo, I get a private driver.
mhm,
So and we'll go and we'll take a tour, but typically one of my tours is going to include just going around the country that I'm in and asking questions about like, well, what's that? What's that over there? What happened here? I don't know. I like to find out about the different locations and their culture there. And, so with you doing all of that, I guess you don't have as much time. I'm not out where I can meet a lot of people to date. I guess that might be it. If when I'm on like public excursions, but if I have a private driver, it's just me and my driver. I'm not meeting people to
mhm,
so
mhm.
that might be it. There you go.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm just thinking about how like countercultural it is the way that you're traveling because social media. Social media's impact on like having us either always be preparing ourselves for the gaze of other people, for other people to
Uh,
spectate our lives or us spectating other people's
and,
lives.
and so that's a really good point. So as a financial educator, of course, I have social media platforms. So I post content. And for a while, I didn't post my travels at all. I would post when I was here. And then when I traveled, I wouldn't post at all. And so I had to struggle with finding a balance that I could post, but not take away from me enjoying my trips or enjoying where I was. So now I feel like I found a healthy balance where I'll post, but I'm still not posting like everything I did. I still have some experiences that I can have to myself and to my own because that's why I travel. Like I'm not traveling for the gram. I'm traveling for me because that's my therapy. That's where I feel like, oh, okay. I can get recharged and refreshed, and then I come back from my vacation. They're like, okay, let's get back to work, or let's get back to life and reality. So, yeah, I think that that's a huge part of it. But me personally, I, I don't know. I guess I rebelled against it because at first I didn't used to post at all.
So you've never been very interested in what's been going on or participating in that social media loop.
Well, I don't. So I don't watch reality TV. I barely watch TV at all. So I don't know, like I don't keep up. Like if I see it on my timeline, I'll know. But I've trained my timeline. So my timeline doesn't show me a whole bunch of like what this person on a reality show did or what this person did. Because I trained it. Like I swipe really fast if I do see it so that I don't continue to see those things.
Mm.
So yeah. I don't like gossip though. So in
Yeah.
like me as a person, I'm not a gossiper. So that I think influences it.
So, okay. As you're talking, what is starting to strike me is just like how comfortable you are just being you, regardless
Yes,
of
I
what
don't.
everybody else is doing.
Yeah, I don't have to like follow the lead. I'm okay with everybody sitting here talking about a show, and I don't have any clue what they're talking about, but I still sit there, laugh. Yeah, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I'm not a big drinker, so same thing. When I'm out in the party scene, I'm still gonna have fun. I'm still gonna be out. You're gonna think I might have had a drink because I'm gonna be lively, but no, I haven't. Or if I had one, it maybe was one drink.
Mm,
So yeah, I guess that's a good point. I am. I'm comfortable with being me and whoever I am, and that's what you get. Like what
mhm.
you see is what you get, essentially.
Has this always been the case, Nia? Because like you're seeing it real light, and I'm like, no, do you understand this is
But
different?
it's the norm for me. So that's why I'm saying it really like, because that this like you could talk to anybody, this is me. Have I always been like that? No. I feel like when I was younger, like when I was young, like not that I'm old, but you get what I'm saying. I did feel like trying to be with the it girls and trying to be like, oh, I used to see people and be like, oh, she's always so put together. Because I'm not a fashionista. So I've always like I used to be like, oh well, but then you learn like, oh well, she got this going and she got that going. Like compare yourself. You know what I mean? Just be you. You can't compare yourself to others because you don't know what else is going behind. And even if it is going great like you think it is, okay, so what? Like that has nothing to do with you, it's none of your business. So it was definitely a journey that I myself have gone through, like working to just be content with me and who I am. But I feel like it was partially like a process, like, saying my daily affirmations for myself, spending time, like again, solo travel. A lot of people are afraid to travel by themselves. To me, that's when I really learned myself
Hmm.
because you don't have any other outside influences. So you don't have to, oh, let's go to this excursion because such and such says she want to see the monkeys. You don't have that. You literally only do what you want to do because it's only you that you have to please. So you have to find out what it is you really like,
Yep.
what it is you really want. And if you want to change your mind, you can change it because who else do you have to disappoint? Nobody. So I'm gonna lay in the bed today and not go anywhere, I can. So I feel like being able to travel and explore and be in uncomfortable spaces because you're in a new country, you don't know anybody. So technically I consider that an uncomfortable space. But be able to be there by yourself with your mind, it allows you to really you have no choice but to focus on you.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. I
So
do.
I think that that has helped me a lot because I definitely used to compare myself and feel like, oh, I wish I could dress like her, and I could never put outfits together like that. Like that's how I used to be like growing up, and that showed it for me. Like with dating, I think that that showed up for me in dating. I would feel like, oh, well, he wants her because she's always dressed nice. Like things like I used to tell myself.
Yes, yes. And with the sheer sleeves, you couldn't tell me that you don't do fashions.
This is all but you have to understand this is simple.
Got it.
I got to just put on some black slacks.
Got it. And
If I
cute.
don't have this on, I have a dress or a two-piece outfit that's already put together.
That's
Because
smart.
if they put it together, I don't have to do any dressing because they dressed it for me. So
That's
yeah, so that's what I try to do. Things like that. This added the flair by itself. I don't have to get some wonderful accessories and put a belt and like people do like such one. And I love to see people do it, and I love to see like, and I'll be the first one to cheerlead and be like, oh, yeah. But I just, I am who I am. It's kind
mm,
of what it is. Yeah.
love that. Love that. And so, what I'm wondering about you is what would you offer maybe a friend of your daughter's or, someone who's a friend of yours comes to you and is like, yeah, but Nia, you seem real confident and outgoing. And, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can, I have all these dreams, but I don't think I'd be able to push into them. What advice would you give to them?
I would say your first mistake was doubting yourself.
Mm.
Because for you to come out and say, like, well, I don't know if I could do that, or I can, that's showing to me your mindset already. So as long as you keep saying that you don't know if you can do it, you're right.
Mm.
You're absolutely correct. You are correct. You're not. You don't know if you can do it. You might not be able to. But you're gonna have to start speaking positivity into yourself and stop. Sometimes at some point you have to not define. Let like see what you genuinely like. If you're at that point where you don't have a clue, see what you genuinely resonate with, see what you genuinely like to do. Like me, I love to dance. So I will literally be in my house. I have Alexas in 3 locations, and I will say, Alexa, play everywhere. And I just dance in all the different rooms because the music is playing. Like that's something I love to do. But I had to spend that time to learn. You know what I mean? So it's like I would say, spend some time to learn yourself. If you got to stop dating or stop doing something, but spend some time with yourself to see who you are, is what I would say. And don't tell yourself what you can't do or I'm not going to do, because you could do a lot. Like you'll be surprised the things, and you'll look back like, wow, like I was scared I wasn't gonna make it. That was 5 years ago now.
Mhm. Your fears will keep you in shackles.
Oh yes, agreed. And
Mhm.
to me, the best weapon against fear is going to be education.
Mm.
So that's why I say, like, learn about yourself, learn what you even like to do, because you might be out here doing stuff because somebody else told you that you should do it, and you really kind of don't like it. You really, it kind of irritates you every time you have to do it.
Yeah, yeah, fact. I was thinking a few moments ago, I like to use the analogy of that they use sometimes in yoga practice, which
Uh-huh.
is don't be looking around the class at people that all around you that are twisting themselves into pretzels and have their legs behind
Oh,
their head.
that's a
Stay
great
on
analogy.
your yoga mat. Focus on
Mhm,
you. And how you just described how the advice that you would give to that woman is focus on you. Learn
mhm.
yourself. I'm gonna add to it if I can.
Go
Stay,
ahead.
yeah, don't let social media
Oh,
end
yeah.
up brainwashing you into living a life that you don't really want to live. you
Mhm,
know, um, but focus on you. And then what I also love that you said too was speaking positivity into yourself, that
mhm,
you've short-circuited your dreams before they've even started when you start saying, I can't.
mhm,
And so, at the end of every podcast, I pick out a life note from the wisdom that someone has shared. And so I
mhm.
think that that's the life note is speak positivity into yourself
Absolutely.
and take time to learn yourself. Mhm. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom. Thank you for sharing. Gosh, you're making me think, so maybe Atlanta, what is Atlanta, have to,
Cincinnati, I don't know. I mean, I've been here. I just moved here October of last year, so I haven't been here that long. So I'm still finding it.
mm, mm.
The
Well,
worst case scenario, let's say I don't like it. They did not close the airports. They is no rule that says I will be stuck here and I can't move somewhere else.
mhm,
Like,
mhm.
it'll be okay.
Yeah, agreed, agreed. And you were brought there for a reason.
I truly believe that.
So whatever that purpose is, I wish you all the greatness and riches that it has to offer for you. Yeah.
You.